Good morning, Level Up Tribe. Happy Thursday. Friday Junior people, we're almost there. We're almost to the end of the week. So glad that you are joining today. Happy that you are coming in on the SLJ raid. I was running late this morning, so I am going to have to be team replay to see Chet's show, but so glad that you all are here. Today's topic is gratitude for technology that mostly works and patience when it doesn't. So I'm sure we can all relate to when technology has failed us at critical times, at important moments, and everybody can relate to that. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to go over and see who is joined us in the chat. And the first one in is Mr. Paul, PSV Odyssey. Good morning to you, sir. So glad that you are here today. And Travel with Josie Ann. Good morning. So great that you are here. Eddie Lugo, thanks for being here, Eddie. Morning to you. Yo, yo, yo. Brooklyn in the house. And Tom asking, do I have a Mardi Gras outfit ready? Not yet. I have been looking at options and have a number of things that are on hold and kind of like in my cart, but I haven't pulled the trigger and bought them yet. But great question, and thanks for asking. Morning to you, Tom, and best to Terry. And Pete, good morning to you. Oh, sorry, good afternoon to you in the UK. Thanks so much for joining today. I appreciate it. Chet coming in on the Sea Leg Journeys raid. Thanks for being here, Chet. I appreciate you so much. Squeakies to you, my friend. And Paul saying good morning to everyone. And Ryan Scott, good morning, sir. How are you today? I see that you are shouting out to everybody, which is fantastic. And Pete, you are correct. Instead of team replay, I will be team repeat. That is great. And whatever floats your boat, Angie, hey, good morning. How are you? Thanks so much for being here. I learn a lot of AI stuff. Very interesting. Oh, you're learning a lot. Yes. I think from a tech standpoint that AI is a wonderful tool. Because of like autocorrect and things that use that type of technology, and suggestions and artwork that it creates and things that I've seen, I'm pretty confident that it's not going to take over the world, but we'll see about that. Good morning, Shirley. Thanks so much for being here and so much for the glitter bombs. Awesome that you are here today. What was life like before cell phones? That is a great question, chat. And honestly, there are so many movies that I really enjoy, but you watch them now and it's like, if only someone had had a cell phone, this would have been like a 10-minute movie. So it wouldn't have even been a full movie because nobody would have been looking for cell phones. People wouldn't have, or for pay phones and things like that, and unable to connect with people. And I mean, I just remember when I was a kid that, especially over the summer, we would leave the house first thing in the morning and go and hang out with our friends and ride bikes and go to the pool and all kinds of stuff. And my parents had no idea where I was. The only way they could have connected to me is if my mom thought that I was at a friend's house or knew that I was going to a friend's house. She could call over on the landline and see if I was there. But like I said, I mean, during the summer, we were outside, we were playing and getting into all kinds of trouble and all of that. So it times have changed considerably. Oh, good morning, Denise. Hearts to you, my friend. And I actually have to share with everyone that I finally got a diagnosis yesterday following my gastric emptying scan. And I have something called gastroparesis. It is slow emptying of the stomach. So, first things first are to meet with the dietitian and to adjust what it is that I'm eating and also how I'm eating. So, rather than 3 meals a day, I have to do like 4 or 5 small meals. I'm going to have to cut out certain foods and certain beverages, but at least I've got a diagnosis. At least I've got an answer, which I mean, not to overshare, but the vomiting nightmare has been going on since October. So to have an answer and to have a reason why it's been happening is like a gift. It really is just to have an answer. So, yes, chat, I am scheduled on the ABC cruise as well. And cruising complete. Howdy, howdy, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And Meg, thanks. Good morning. Working but listening. I appreciate you lurking and doing your thing. That is awesome. Folks shouting out. Make sure that if you want to share your YouTube channel, you type in #tribe. And what did we do before hashtags? What did we do before YouTube? What did we do before all of the social media? I have a love-hate relationship with social media, so yeah, that's kind of one of those things. And Jan from JJ's Adventures, thank you so much for coming in. Good morning to you. There we go. Yes, gastroparesis. That is it. Yeah, I was afraid of that, but at least it's an answer. Not having an answer has been like a torment. It really has. It has made me question myself and question if I was doing something wrong, if it was just stress, if it was psychosomatic, if it just it caused so many doubts in my mind because they were unable to find what it was. But at least now I've got an answer. I can adjust some things. Some of the things that I can't do anymore, like drink alcohol, I really don't do anyway because of other meds that I'm on. It's interesting that like I can't eat salads anymore. I can't do the raw veggies because they're just too hard to digest. So that's something that I'm not overly thrilled about. But they're also going to encourage me to eat a lot of things that I do like cooked vegetables and pastas and soups and things like that that are more easy to digest. There are some specific fruits and vegetables that are on the no-no list, like broccoli. And interestingly enough, I didn't think about this, but oranges, the fiber in those foods can actually cause a blockage for me in my stomach and slow down my gastric emptying anyway. But at least it's an answer, so that's a gift. Paul says, I need more ribeye in my diet. Oh gosh, I wish that was the solution. I actually have to start cutting back on fatty foods. So little bit less red meat is going to be in my diet. It is a huge relief, Shirley. I'm thrilled. Um, I yeah, a real diagnosis helps. It gives me the capability of actually moving forward and being able to, um yeah, being able to just function on a regular basis and not be throwing up all the time. Oh, Tom, I'm sorry to hear this, that you have a friend here in Chicago. His daughter goes in days-long bouts of vomiting, and it's really tough on them. That's what I was experiencing. When I spent the 8 days in the hospital, it was 8 days because the first 5 days, I couldn't keep anything down, not even liquids. So, it it is most uncomfortable and, yeah. Oh, and Denise says, "Girl, you sound like me with the lupus thing. Yeah, it sucks, but I know I'm not crazy." It's a relief. It's a huge relief, to know that there is something physically happening that is not it's not my imagination. It's not something that I'm doing wrong or that I'm thinking or my stress level or things like that because people tell you, "Oh, well, if you just reduce your stress, this will go away." And it's like, I'd love to reduce my stress. I have a couple of things that are high stress always. And ongoing that I am concerned about, things like my parents who have relocated to Portugal. So I've got my my parents who are obviously, given that I am a senior, they are very senior, and it's a new adventure for them, but it's also new language, new customs, new everything. So I worry about them, and I worry about them being so far away if anything were to happen. Before they were in Arizona, which was still a 4-hour flight, now this is like an 8 or a 9-hour flight. So I just don't feel like I can be there as readily for them, and that concerns me. So that's one of my ongoing stressors. And there's nothing that I can do about that. They have moved and it is what it is. So, holy cow, whoop, whoop. Scotty J, good morning to you. I missed your show last night, and I'm going to be on team replay or repeat. And make sure to see it because I love the topic of packing and always get new tips and things like that, which I love. Loving that everybody is shouting out to each other. And Zach with Coker Culture, good morning to you, sir. So glad that you are here. Great that you are joining. Doctors take educated guesses. I've been misdiagnosed with 4 major conditions. Holy cow. Surely that's a nightmare. I feel very lucky that my gastroenterologist didn't just take educated guesses and start throwing meds at me. She has continued to order tests, continued to investigate what was going on. And like I said yesterday, I had this gastric emptying scan that was it wasn't a terrible test. The worst part of it was having to go off of pain and digestive meds for 72 hours beforehand, and also the not being able to drink any water or anything else after midnight and then throughout the duration of the test. So I wasn't able to drink anything until like 1 in the afternoon, 1:30 in the afternoon, yesterday, which is just not usual for my body at all. I'm always drinking some kind of beverage or have my water bottle, all the time. So that kind of triggered a really bad headache, that I was fighting with yesterday, and into, kind of the overnight. It's starting to be better now. I was at least able to get up and get showered and get functional and go live with all of you. So I hope that you get some answers because not having the answers is a flippin' nightmare. It really is. Over 10 years and 4 different doctors and a specialist. I went through a misdiagnosis with, my fibromuscular dysplasia. They had just called it, renal stenosis and didn't label it the disease that was causing the stenosis, and I went through a misdiagnosis for about 10 years too, with that, which was fun. That was a complete failure, but yeah, that really sucks. And Dr. Chet recommends a cruise. I love that recommendation, and I have care of taking care of having cruises scheduled, so looking forward to those. Who you calling senior? Myself, Eddie. I'm calling myself a senior. Absolutely. Their guesses rely on you returning as a patient. Yeah, they do in some senses, but hopefully, hopefully you can find someone to help. I'm in my prime, says Chad. Hey, not questioning that for a moment. I also feel like I am in my prime. I am happier now and happier with my life and my job and my relationship with Chef Todd and having Miss Willow in our home. And I am thankful and in my prime for a lot of things, but this year is level 60 and I do need to kind of admit to it and understand that it is a thing. Optimus Prime. Love it. Not just Prime, but Optimus Prime. Love that. Okay, coffee refill time for Eddie. That I understand completely. And I understand that you're passionate because one medication caused a miscarriage and another was affecting my mind. One med gave me a kidney issue, another liver functions. Holy cow, Cheryl, you have been through the ringer, my friend. I am so sorry that you are dealing with that. So sorry. Can't wait to see so many on the ABC's cruise. I agree. We're 72 days out. So that is very exciting. They have recommended a diet for me, but again, I am going to meet with a dietitian, and between Chef Todd's skills and the guidance of a dietitian, I'm sure we're going to be able to come up with something where I'm not just eating soup 5 times a day, because I love soup, but let's be honest, that's not all I can ingest. So yeah. Tom says he's not in his prime yet. Terry said, I never grew up. That's okay. You can still be in your prime. It's still out there and still available. So back to my topic for just a moment. Gratitude for technology that mostly works. I have some cases where, for example, the GPS on my phone has decided to stop working or has decided to take me on a ridiculous circuitous route for no good reason. And that has gotten me lost. It has gotten me, in the completely wrong town, at the completely wrong location. I've had that happen, and that's a technology fail. And I understand that everybody goes through that. I mean, I have technology fails at work all the time where I go to join a meeting and for some reason my microphone isn't working or my camera isn't working or something like that, which is super frustrating, especially when it's something important. One of the things that I do is I help facilitate our company orientation, and that is typically somewhere between like 50 and 75 people on that call. So before that call, I always reboot my laptop because I don't want to have failure. Um, and I try to kind of clear the decks to make sure my microphone and um, my camera are working and all of that. So here we go. Sharon, good morning. How are you, my friend? Thank you for coming in. Hope all is well with you and that everybody is out there and staying warm. Your Google quit working in our bedroom. We have to turn the lights on manually. For shame. Oh my goodness. Okay. I have to tell you that for somebody who works with technology as much as I do and enjoys technology as much as I do not have any smart devices in the house right now. We don't use like an Alexa or anything like that. Um, and I'm glad of it because of exactly this reason. When it gets to the point where I'm like, I have to flip a switch to turn on the lights. Goodness gracious, what am I living in? What century here? Chet says he thinks GPS has real estate sponsors and takes us looking at real estate. I get that impression sometimes too. I definitely do. You love your Fire Stick since you have them all blackjack, but that works most of the time. Need to redo every other month. That's one of those things that annoys me, but I do have patience for it. When we have to reset that. We do have a Fire Stick, so I guess that is a smart device. And hello, Level Up fam from Scott from Scottsdale, Captain Controversy. Good morning, my friend. So great to have you in and hope that your weather is getting a little bit better. Great suggestion from Tom for Denise is to get a clapper. I love those ads. Clap on, clap off, the clapper. Still remember those. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Making sure I'm not missing anyone here. And Robin from Sea Leg Journeys uses her as the remote in the house. She doesn't consider me a smart device. Can I tell you though, chat, weren't we all the remote for the TV when we were kids? I know in my house, it was always my dad would like tell us to get up and change the channel before we had a remote, when it was a dial that you had to turn and adjust the antennas to make sure the channel was coming in well. Is very funny. Good morning, that savage vlogger. Welcome in. Good to have you here. I'd love to hear with our last few minutes of some other technology fails or things that annoy you about technology, because it is all around us. We were absolutely the remote and we had to manually turn the antenna. Yes. That was just a thing. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth have issues. Absolutely. I will say that my Wi-Fi just will randomly go out for no reason when there is, no storm. I can't blame it on weather. No one's working on the lines or anything else. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Thank you so much for liking and sharing the stream. I appreciate it so much. It is great to have people helping with that. Mr. Paul is just happy to have colored TV. That reminds me of the scene in Back to the Future when they bring their first TV in to watch it during dinner. And the Marty McFly character says, we've got 3 of them. And they're like, nobody has 3 TVs. And now that's super common. So absolutely. I get that. I totally get that. So good mornings going out to everyone. I appreciate that. And this is absolutely how you share yourself out and how other people can find you on YouTube. Hashtag tribe. We'll go ahead and thank you for joining us and also drop your link. So make sure that you do that. Tom says, remember as a kid, dad had you become the antenna moving them. Yes. Did anyone else also have tinfoil on like the rabbit ear antennas and you had to adjust it? And yeah, it was crazy. You stopped watching TV when it affected your mood and 204 channels and scrolling through mindlessly. That's, yeah. And a lot of times it's like 200 channels and there's nothing on. We end up watching reruns. We end up watching shows that we've seen before. I mean, you remember the rabbit ears. So there we go with our 3 channels. I think at least here in Chicago, I remember that we had CBS, NBC, ABC, WGN, and then on the UHF side, we had WFLD, channel 32. So I still love those, and I am with you. I love some MeTV. Some of those old, those are great. What did we watch first season of recently? Cheers. We watched the first season of Cheers and enjoyed that so much. Oh, yes. Thanks, Denise. Don't forget PBS. We had PBS, Channel 11 in Chicago. So we did have like 5 or 6 channels, but definitely had to get up and change it and mess with the antenna to get things tuned in and all of that. It literally sucked me in. Yeah. I totally get that. I totally get that. You can get lost in it. You have an antenna on all 7 TVs. Okay, interesting. Here we go. Was a babysitter for me, only 3 channels. Oh, okay. We definitely, as kids, we were allowed to watch as much PBS as we wanted. Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, The Electric Company, Zoom, all of those shows, we were able to watch with no problem, and with my folks not saying, no, this is not a thing. You remember listening to Days of Our Lives on the radio growing up? Oh, yes. I totally remember listening to soap operas. My mom was into the shows on ABC. So like All My Children and General Hospital and all of those. So you moved in your new place, no TV. Wow. That's very cool. I know it's unusual for a lot of people, but good for you. Okay. You are heading to town to get a few things. Bye, everyone. Yes. Stay safe and stay warm. It is like 0 degrees here right now, but of course the wind chill makes it feel even colder. So now YouTube has replaced it though. So yeah, I totally get that YouTube definitely sucks it in. So thanks for another great show. Oh, thumbs up. Thank you so much. And also let me just remind everyone, if you are enjoying the stream, please give me a thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm and feeds my ego. So yay for that. I am going to wrap things up here, and I have it pinned as the top comment for those of you joining on the YouTube side. Make sure to go over to Go Live Together and have a great day. Hopefully love goes out to all of you, and do me a favor, please stay weird. Love you. Bye, guys.